Hello everyone, Duke here with part 6 of this Prussia campaign, Napoleon Total War. And we're going to continue now with the war in the east by mopping up the last of this French army here, which we managed to beat outside Olmütz. And once we've done that, the road to Prague will be open, where both Blucher and Ingelfingen are both poised to strike at the city. And it would be good to take it. It's a very big city. Well, I say very big, I mean it's got... okay, it's a mid-tier city actually. It's got 3 building slots, which would be good to deprive the French of. Oh, we've got Grouchy commanding the army there, and Jourdan, yeah, 2 marshals we saw last time. Taking Prague will pretty much solidify this front here, and then if we could strike up Bavaria, we will have most of this side of Germany under control. And then we can start pushing in perhaps down into France, which I think would be a great step. But that is, of course, counting our chickens. I'm going to use the battered army first to mop up the last of this army here. I'm going to command it myself, because otherwise we're going to take some horrendous losses. Needlessly so. So, let's do this ourselves. Shouldn't be bad. I think... Just going to look at my cavalry. Yeah, my cavalry are fine. I think, in the interest of time, I'm just going to go all out with some cav. I think these guys should be alright. If they form a square, I will change the plan. But I'm just going to go for it like this. I don't think they're going to form a square. That's good. These are lancers who are not so great in prolonged combat, but in a charge, they're brilliant. Took a few losses there. Oh, they did form a square. They formed a square. Get out. Get out of there. The other guys? Not yet. Oh, snipers. Well, I got their general at least. I'll tell you what I could do. I'll level them. Right, pull the cavalry back. Might have been a bit of a cocksure move. Look at that range. Yeah, we need that to get out of the square before we do that again. Right, now you guys, whoever can fire on that square, fire on that square. No one, they're all over there. Well, I've done this beautifully, haven't I? But fine, fortunately, some of them are... Oh no, they're coming out. That's good. Right, you guys, like I said, I am doing this in the interest of time. But I have lost a little bit of cavalry. But to be honest, this army is going to need to hold back and heal up anyway, so it doesn't change the plan with this army. And I'm pretty sure we don't need to run anything down here. Oh, and I click continue anyway. Look at that. There we are. Close victory. Okay, don't be cheeky again. Alright. I'll say that's that. Excellent. Now the road to Prague is open, from the east at least. Now my plan actually is to deploy myself on this bridge. I'd like to get there. I'm going to put these guys in the lines there, and then they can reinforce each other, and they're garrisoning that. Now we could send Blucher to fight this. I'm pretty sure that this counts as reinforcement. Yeah, the bridge is there. Yeah, they will be able to reinforce that. Oh gosh, it is half tempting to go for it, but nah. There's no urgent need. If it was make or break, I would, but there's just no need to risk it at this point. Now I've got a bit of building we can do. I'm going to. I don't want to build up the Grand Opera House. Is that worth it? Can't hurt to build up the farms more, you know. Get more replenishment rate. If we have to pull back to Berlin again, just be able to keep getting back into the fray really quick is not to be underestimated. Meanwhile, we are getting this army up here, and I remember we were going to position this in Goulon, and therefore have a bit of an insurance policy against any further incursions from Russia, because the last one was a nasty surprise we could have done without. We got a bit lucky there with the peace treaty that we managed to sign. Oh wow, look, I've just noticed, look, Hungary's just taken Croatia. The Kingdom of Hungary, Croatia. Look at that. little kingdom that could. Wow. I like the little stories these games tell like that sometimes. They're very cool. Although I think it's not good for Austria, of course. But are they at war, Hungary, with Austria? No, they're actually, in fact, allied. Yeah, you're basically like Austria-Hungary at the moment. You've got Austria-Hungary a century early. Look at that. Okay, I think... Oh, do we upgrade this? Is there any point? I will. I'm not a massive fan of secret societies, and that they just increase... Yeah, happiness is increasing is good, but... No, they're fine. They're fine. I'd rather make money. If they made a small amount of money, but just not as much as a typical industrial building, I could take that. Okay, what now? I think it was trade unions we just researched, and that's gotten everyone quite happy. What do we go for next? I feel like we should be improving some of this stuff, but I just can't resist some of this military tech. Another 4% replenishment rate in all regions. Oh, an artillery barrage would be good. Yeah, let's go get that. Trust me, that is really good when you combine it with canister. Being able to just pump canister after canister after canister into the French is so important on very hard difficulty. Alright, I think we're at a point we can end the turn. I don't think there's any more to do. Yeah. I'm sort of gambling with that army I'm pushing up to Prague, but I have, like I said, kept that other army nearby in case. Austria's on the march down in the south, or should I say Austria-Hungary? I just do not trust Russia as far as I can throw them right now. There goes the Ottoman army again on that on those ships. I wonder what they're up to with it. If they were at war with Spain, that would be a very interesting move. But they're not. They're at war with Hungary and Austria. I don't know what. I just cannot figure out their move. No, I'm going to exempt that from tax. It's not crucial. Well, okay, we're starting to lose. Not lose. Our income is starting to suffer now because of how much extra recruitment we've had to do. But I think it is worth it. I think this army in the east is needed. Oh yeah, and I was getting some more units in Brandenburg, wasn't I? It's replacing them. Getting some more experienced recruits into the fray. Right. I actually do want to keep an eye on Prague, so I'm going to send a spy this way. Right, no change in the situation. I'll just... is it worth trying it? No, I don't really want to lose the spy. That's a big army. That's a lot of cavalry and cannons. So it tells me that there isn't an awful lot of infantry in the army, which is actually quite good. I know it's weird to say, but that is quite good. Right, both these armies can strike Prague, as can Blucher. I'm half tempted to stand on the bridge. Oh, but then again, we might get intercepted, and if we get intercepted, we're in big doo-doo, because I think that means we're the attacker. This is a tough choice. Okay, then in that case, what I'm going to have to do is move this army up with him, so that they resist the urge essentially to intercept. Okay, excellent. They didn't intercept, so I'm going to keep this army there. Having more cannons and cavalry in reserve is never a bad thing. So I'll fall a bit more, so we're definitely on a bridge battle. Because I'm just going to... I'm going to spend a turn trying to see if I can bait them to attack Ingelfingen on the bridge and whittle them down that way. And if they don't do that next turn, then I will move Blucher down to strike at Prague. That's my plan. I'd rather bleed them out on an advantageous position rather than on a level playing field. not too bothered about those higher stables. Minus 1% recruitment cost for cavalry in all our regions is barely noticeable. Might get their farms there. Just keep the replenishment rate up high here as well. Right. What would be really nice would be to have 2 armies. One station there, one station here. And then take Courland. If you know, so if war came again, liberate Courland and then take Vilnius and give it to Courland. But I can't afford that. It's just too much money. Meanwhile, 3 more turns to Grand Battery. Wellington's still stuck in Hanover. We have military access, so we could theoretically march down all the way. Oh no, he doesn't have access to Belgium. Yeah, I keep forgetting that. As far as we know, they don't. Right, taking Prague would be great, and if we could take Bavaria, even better. 2 big cities, or big-ish cities, wealthy cities, I'm sure. And then I'll happily leave Stuttgart alone for a while. I'm happy not to betray them. And then we could strike at, I guess, Lucerne, take that out, and then Alsace. Yeah. Right, okay, I think we are at an end turn position again. I don't think there's anything more to do. Absolute scenes if the French go and sink that Ottoman navy. Yeah, Russia just never do anything against France. They have an army under Kutuzov, I think, or Bennigsen, stationed in Europe right at the beginning. That is kind of scripted to move west, and then after that, until Napoleon comes knocking, they don't do anything. I really can't wait to see what they do with that. Even if it's disadvantageous to us. If they just took Britain with it, that would be funny. But they're not at war with them, so I just really do not know what their plan is. But that doesn't mean I'm not dead excited to see what they do. Right, up we go. Off to Mittal. Mind you, there's no buildings around here, and we don't really want to. Oh no, they haven't even built this port up. How weak. I guess it's worth the risk of attrition. Okay, so they didn't take the bait, by the way. So we know what we know what that means. Who do we want to command the charge? Guys, it's got to be Blucher. I'm imagining that Blucher is like our Generalissimo. Although generally in Total War, I tend to associate like star level by their rank and their seniority. But in this situation, it's Blucher. It's a historical general. They're all historical generals, but it just feels more right. So here's the plan. Strike at Prague. I'm not going to demand a surrender. It's too good an opportunity to take out a lot of men in one go. We just have to fight hard. And what I'm going to do, continue the siege, and I'm half tempted to take this army out with this, with the smaller army, attack Grouchy here while this army's under siege, so they can't reinforce there. So I think that's what we should do. I'm gonna. Oh, what? Oh, is it because this guy's standing on the bridge? It must be that, surely. Yeah, I was going to say. Alright, so let's go. This might be costly, but I don't. Oh! Brilliant! Grouchy has abandoned an advantageous position and pulled back to Budweis. He couldn't resist that beer, so he's gone all the way back there. And in that case, we may as well do this battle first, so we've got 3 armies nearby, and then after that, I'll send this army to go chase Grouchy. So, look at that, I've got 3 armies. We could auto-resolve it. I still would imagine the auto-resolve would give it the win. And I'm going to have Louis. No, who do we want? Yeah, we want Ingelfingen to be second, because he's got the fuller army. Okay. Oh, look at that. I mean, he has actually, when he's attacking, he becomes a 5-star general. But Prince von Prussia 6. So oh, well, we can assume whatever. Assume what you want. Okay, so that's a lot of artillery. Quite a bit of cavalry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 infantry. That's very, very doable. We're armed with 12-pounders now, so we've got range compared to them. And enough canister to tear through them, I think. Right, I'm kind of looking forward to this. This could be quite an important battle. Blucher, Prince von Prussia, and Ingelfingen, the three darlings of the Prussian army, fighting together against Jean-Baptiste Jourdan at Prague. Here we go. Let's do this. Oh, this is a much better battlefield than I've seen before. I think I'm definitely going to do two groups of three. I want to make the canister as devastating as possible. And the way to do that is to group it, put them like that. There. Put some line in the middle. Put them. 2, 3, and put those along there like that. Them. And these guys are going to go along this way. Right, this ain't going to be the easiest party we ever attended, but I think we'll be alright. I'm going to swap the infantry, put them there because they can form a square, and cavalry tends to go for cannons. Then I'll put cuirassiers behind these on the slope, I guess, to guard them. I'll put some dragoons, no, lancers. I'll put lancers there, and then I'll put some light infantry on the flanks to do some flanking. And Blucher, your mobile inspiring presence will be needed. And let's try and not get you killed this time. Oh, by the way, have I shown you guys? Total War has unique models for the historical generals, and that's Blucher with his grey uniform and his Prussian cross and everything like that. All of them do. So, actually, I don't know about Archduke Charles. I can't remember him having a unique model. Again, another reason why it's kind of boring to play as Austria, but I think all the others do. I have no idea about what Kutuzov's one looks like, but I'm pretty sure that has one. Oh, just listen to that 12-pounder blast away. Oh, pot shots at their general. Cheeky. Oh, that's good. Yeah, let's fire on that cavalry. Nice. Wellington certainly does. Napoleon, obviously. It'd be weird if he didn't. Who does that leave? Oh, Blucher. And he has one. The Spanish don't have one. I don't think the Ottomans do either.
12 Pfünder bereit.
I think. Oh yes, that's one of the best volleys I've seen in ages. That was brilliant. But yeah, I think in custom battles, if you have Picton as one of the British generals, he has a top hat, which I think is a nod to what happened to the historical general, the real life Picton, Thomas Picton at Waterloo. I think his luggage train or baggage train got hit by artillery fire when they were withdrawing from Quatre Bras, something like that, and it destroyed it. His uniform was in it, so it got destroyed. So he went into battle on Waterloo, just in a suit and a top hat, and his model in this game has a top hat. Picton died at Waterloo, and he was the most senior general to die in the battle. Just a little FYI for you there. So I have an opportunity to take those guys out. It's half tempting. I can't remember who the third general is. So every faction in this game in custom battles, you choose 3 generals. Have a choice of 3 generals, or maybe 4. Might have a box standard general, and then a 3-star, and then a 6-star, and then a 9-star. Wellington is a 9-star. I think Picton's the 6-star general, and a 3-star general. I don't think it's Uxbridge. No, it wouldn't be Uxbridge. I don't think it'd be Ponsonby. Oh, I'm curious. I might look that up after this. After I'm done recording, I might go to the customs battle thing and look. I think France gets Ney and Soult. Ney, I think, is the 3rd, and Soult is the 6th. Or Davout? No, it wouldn't be Davout. Yes, it would. I mean, I'd put Davout as the 2nd. I think Davout is a brilliant marshal. Probably Napoleon's best. Criminally underused in his 100 Days campaign. If you ask me, definitely one of his. Napoleon made a lot of mistakes during the 100 Days campaign, and that was one of them. Keeping Davout behind in Paris, very boneheaded decision. Ney wasn't great. He was daring, he was bold, but hot-headed. Like, capable, like, obviously he could command an army better than I could, but brave. He's reputed to be one of the last men to leave Russia, maybe the last. Might be a bit of a myth, that, but you know, if the myth stands, it proves the story just as much as if it didn't happen, because people believe it. People believe that Ney would do that, so it still proves that Ney's brave, if nothing else. Then he gave the order to fire at his own execution. So after the 100 Days campaign, well, during the 100 Days campaign, Ney was sent by King Louis to intercept Napoleon and arrest him, and ended up joining him. Whoops, that was a misfire. And then after the battle, obviously Ney was in trouble. They didn't like that. Oh dear, ouchie. Yeah, these guys can fire while moving. It's really cool. Yeah, Ney was sentenced to death, and when he was up on the firing post, he gave the order to fire himself, which is quite badass. So, yeah. And he led the charge at Waterloo himself. He didn't just give the order and make a mistake. He did go with his men into battle. And I think he had like 3 or 4 horses shot under him, which is a lot. It means that he was right. You know, it basically shows he was right in the right in the thick of combat and could easily have been killed at some point. But all that was for naught because he got shot at the end by the French instead. It takes a Frenchman to kill Ney. Right, let's really take these guys out. They're coming on a bit thick. Oh my days! Have you ever seen so much canister in your life? I don't think you have. That is good. Soult got away with it. I remember Soult wasn't arrested. No, he was arrested, but I think he was let go. Because Ney actively betrayed, I think you could say, Napoleon. The king, rather, by joining. He actively joined him. He contradicted his orders and joined Napoleon, so he was arrested for treason. I think Soult was just following orders as a general of the French army by that point. If that makes sense. So once Napoleon was, the King Louis abdicated, so Napoleon was therefore king and general, all that. And you could say, Soult's defence was almost certainly, well, you know, as he was my superior, I had to follow his orders like I would anyone else. So he got away with it. Let's fire some of these guns. Who else was that? Davout, again, he got away with it, but I don't think he lived very long afterwards. Berthier was a Marshal of France, and he was not a great commander, a tactician or anything like that. In fact, he kind of messed up a battle in Italy, I believe, quite badly. But he was an excellent planner and logistics mind, and was one of Napoleon's basically like secret weapons throughout many of his campaigns. He's actually the advisor in this game. He's the advisor for France, or in the tutorial at least. And he died under suspicious circumstances in the 100 Days. I think someone on Napoleon's team, you could say, went to fetch Berthier, and was it? Basically, the jury's out of whether he was murdered and pushed out a window, or if he killed himself, seeing that, you know, oh, Napoleon's back and we're going to go to war again, and he just despaired. What is it controversial to say? I think he was murdered, but it's not that big a deal either. It is a big deal. So I'd say I think he was murdered. Personally, I think Berthier was not going to join and was murdered, but it's hard to say. And we'll never know. Similar to, I think, Villeneuve, who was the French admiral at Trafalgar. He also died under suspicious circumstances, I think, and it's kind of, how would you say, heavily supposed that it was a hit, basically, ordered by Napoleon. It's like, yeah, you screwed up so badly that like the disgrace is on you, and I'm gonna kill you. But who knows? I mean, I don't. Whether or not Napoleon had anything to do with it, or if it was someone else who gave the order, I don't know. But I really don't know. That is complete conjecture by that point. Oh, for goodness sake, you guys just move back. But then I haven't done any reading on it for a while. I don't know if the theories on it have changed if more evidence has come to light, or if I'm getting my facts slightly back to front. But yeah. Oh, just look at this canister. It's just gorgeous. Just so much of it. This is worth every penny. Right. What's great as well is we don't have to run down anything, because this is the town itself. So we just win, everything dies. There's another legend about Soult as well. Wellington, so he was one of Wellington's nemesis, you could say, during the Peninsula campaign, and the two never met during the war, obviously. Soult, I think he was the last general that Wellington had. I think he was commanding the defence of Toulouse or Bordeaux or something when the surrender happened, and then he slunk away in the night or something. Anyway, there was a party or ball many years later, and Wellington and Soult were both there. And Wellington grabbed Soult behind on the shoulder and was like, "I have you at last!" You know, kind of a sense of humour about it. Again, whether or not it's true, who knows? But it's a cool story nonetheless. Alright, I'm going to send the horsemen to take those guys out. I'm just going to fill these guys with lead. We're doing mostly okay, I think. Fortunately, that charge went okay. Let's push on and take that artillery out. This flank's actually managed to completely... Wait, I'm going to turn it around then. Wow, we're doing pretty well here. It's just this unit there, which I think is starting to go down. Oh, they've turned into melee. Alright. I think we're doing okay for the last part. I'm going to bring Blucher up here. Just keep these guys happy. I'm going to find that direction, see if we can get two birds on one stone. Drouot was at Waterloo. I don't think he was tried, I think he got away with it. Murat was sentenced, yeah, Murat also... He went to Naples. Oh, that's right, yeah, if I remember. So Marshal Murat was made King of Naples during the good times of Napoleon's Empire. And oh, jeez, I thought that was a cavalry unit, not a cannon unit. And then I think he went to reclaim his old empire, so he led a French army there and got beaten and got killed in the battle. I think he either got killed in the battle or after the battle was put to the sword or something. Yeah. Napoleon had some great marshals. He had a lot of great marshals. It was. He also had some naff ones. I would say naff.
Glorious victories,
like
Murat
wasn't brilliant. He was daring, kind of like Ney. I guess they're kind of comparable. They're just bold, which you kind of need. You know, it has its uses in war, but he wasn't brilliant. I would say his best marshal was Davout. Davout was his best. Lannes may well have been. He died a little too early, to say. It's kind of supposed that how do you pronounce it? There's a twin battle of Jena and Napoleon commanded one wing of the battle at Jena. Basically, Napoleon had one, Davout had the other, and kind of the consensus is Napoleon was given an unwinnable battle. No, Napoleon had the easier battle, you could say. Davout had the basically unwinnable one and still somehow managed to win. Some even go as far to say Davout was Napoleon's equal. I'm not sure about that. I wouldn't say that. Napoleon was a genius. And Davout was he was a genius, but I don't think he had the ambition that Napoleon had to conquer Europe. No, I would put Davout just a bit below Napoleon. We've got to be real. I would argue. I don't think there's much. I don't think there's much argument, really, to say otherwise. I think Napoleon was the greatest general ever. I really do. I think he won the war at one point. I think it was after Tilsit. And is it 1805, 1812? He basically won. As long as he didn't invade Russia, he won. He had it. He had won the game. He had won politics. He had won war. He had won the game. Like, he was unbeatable in Europe. Russia didn't really couldn't really dislodge him themselves. His Grand Army was at peak strength. Look at that, we won! Whoa, that wasn't too bad either. But yeah, it was the invasion of Russia just screwed everything up. Everything. His Grand Army was completely destroyed. I think he went in with 600,000, came back with 10. Big mistake. Alright, so look, okay. Oh, with these numbers, obviously we were going to win, but those are very acceptable losses for what we've taken out there. Those, you see the power of those 12-pounders. Alright, peacefully occupy. Have just enough dosh to repair those buildings. This army's good to go. Oh look! Spain. Hey little guy! Right, this is great. Because that's a whole army taken out in Prague. We have Prague now. We're just hanging on to it for safekeeping. Permanently. And we have... yeah, an army under Grouchy there, which we need to take out. I'm just going to quick save, so in case we have a crash. I think we're good. But this is very good, because now we take this army out. I'm going to send my spy next to scout out Bavaria. That's the next thing to do. I'm very keen to see how well this is guarded. Can't see that. I reckon there's a full stack in there. We're going to have a similar battle like we just there. But because we're able to right now concentrate all our forces, because there's only one avenue in and out for the French. Because we've got protectorates along here. Basically, this is like demilitarized against the French. These guys aren't at war with them. So they're not... the French can't march this way. Basically, if they want to get to us and we want to get to them... no, if they want to get to us, they have to go this way. We could go through this way, but it means throwing all our might this way, and they could come up this way. So we might as well meet them here, and we can throw our might, therefore, all in the same direction, is what I'm trying to say. Badly. Okay. We need to take out Grouchy. Oh yeah, Grouchy, not great. Not great. He was given vague orders, to be fair, at Waterloo. Like, he was given 1/3 of Napoleon's army to go and hunt down Blucher. But it's not as it's not as easy as that. Like, you can't just catch Blucher. And 30,000 men may well not have been enough to defeat Blucher if he never caught up. So I think Grouchy was like, what's the point of catching up with Blucher? His point was to keep Blucher away long enough so that he could defeat Wellington and then turn on Blucher. But also, more importantly than that, it can't be stressed enough, Napoleon was never going to win the 100 Days. He was never going to win that. Ever. Ever. There was not a chance in hell. What is this battlefield? This is absolute gash. I can't see anything. This is... wow. Anyway, yeah, Napoleon was never going to win. Oh my gosh, this is awful. There's not a single point on the battlefield I can put my cannons. Oh, this is terrible. Absolutely awful. Right, I'm going to deploy back here then. Yeah, no, all of Europe was more than willing. As soon as they found out that Napoleon was back, everyone was ready to march back. And I think everyone... because everyone was at the Congress of Vienna talking about what they're going to do with Europe now that Napoleon was gone. And that was... and Wellington was there, I think, at the time. And then news came out. Napoleon's back. And they, you know, it was easy for them to all decide. They were all there at the same time as well. Just said, right, we're all in agreement. We're going to deal with Napoleon then. Everyone was like, yeah, cool. And I think they all promised to lend 250,000 men each, just 1 million men, of now pretty good, well-experienced soldiers from the coalition, because you know they've been fighting for 20 years. You know, and they were just much better armies, much better organised by that point. Overall better led, more experienced soldiers, leaders. And that, yeah, they're sending basically 1 million men to fight Napoleon, who was scrambling. He had his core elite unit still, like the old guard. If you ask me, I think the old guard's a bit overrated. I don't think they did an awful lot historically. That warrants their elite reputation. They were just well trained and huge men. But either way, let's say the old guard were elite, and the young guard, and his artillery was there. But it was a shadow of its former self, the French army, and not all of its marshals came back, and it was just not going to happen. I can't remember how many men Napoleon had in total throughout the 100 days, but it was not going to be enough, even in spite of Napoleon's brilliance. And by that point, he was not brilliant anymore. he made a lot of mistakes at the 100 Days, and very uncharacteristic ones. If the early Bonaparte would not have made any of those mistakes. The one good one he made was he cut through Blucher and Wellington at Charleroi. That was like his last great manoeuvre, and Wellington was like, "Oh, brilliant!" He wasn't even mad. He was like, "That's so good." Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Really. What was the point I was going to make? Yeah, he wasn't going to win. He wasn't going to win. The best he could hope for, the best, and this wasn't going to happen, was he dealt enough of a bloody nose. Let's say he beat Blucher and Wellington, and galvanised France, and Russia and Austria were like, oh, do we? Some crisis of faith made them think, oh, do we want to fight him? The best they could do was hope for. Look at that. Them to say, alright, you can stay as emperor. As long as you sign peace now, we'll let you stay on as emperor. Was the best he could hope for, I'd imagine. We'll let you stay on. You've got to limit your powers. You've got to be a constitutional monarch. You've got to surrender control of the army, and then we won't attack you. Then we'll let you stay in France, if that's what you really want. But they weren't going to give that. No chance. But that was the best he could hope for. Yeah, the glory days for Napoleon were long gone by then. He died 6 years later, I think. So even if he had won again, he was going to die. Some say he was poisoned. I'm not. I don't think he was just a cancer. Died. Happens. So yeah, it's 100 days. But yeah, other mistakes he made. Leaving Davout in Paris. I just think you want your best. If it's going to be as close a campaign as it ends up being, you need your best with you. Leaving Davout behind. Should have left Ney behind. Or someone like that. Underestimated Wellington. He had never fought him before. Gave battle in the mud. All that kind of stuff. Yeah. Because quite often I think when they do simulations of the battle, and like war gamers, not necessarily like board war gamers, like with the tiles and everything, but like those war gamers actually proper. It's even wrong to call them war gamers. They're literally trying to recreate the battle as close as possible, but we simulate it. Most of the time, the French win. The French win that battle. And Wellington knew that they couldn't win the battle. He only gave battle with the assurance from Blucher that he would arrive. He would not have done it otherwise. And yeah, most times France wins. But Napoleon didn't. So, just says a lot. He was past his prime. You could say he'd lost his... Something changed like in the Russia campaign, like Borodino. Like, something was different there. He wasn't trying to outmaneuver the Russians at Borodino. It's like he just got embroiled in a vain slogging match, because the Grand Army by that point was still huge. It was beaten a lot by the snow. It's almost like he just wanted to impress, and just, the Russians fell back to the age-old strategy of theirs of just throwing more and more men at them. And Napoleon just smashed it. Like, fine, you send 10,000 men to me, I'll send 10,000 men back. And you don't do that against Russia. Even if you've got all of Europe's conscripts with you, Russia wins that. He didn't try to outmaneuver them, and the Grand Army paid an extremely heavy price. It was a very Pyrrhic victory, Borodino, and it was basically worthless. It was basically worthless. Because then not long after that, yeah, he took Moscow, but it was scorched earth. Like, the Russians did the right thing, burnt the city down, and it was completely useless to the French. Well, I say the French, it was a coalition army for the French by that point, but yeah, it was a completely useless take. They couldn't really shelter there. There were no supplies there for their horses and their men. They just stayed there and were just cold. And they had to leave it, and they couldn't stay for long. So yeah, he reached Moscow, but he had so much more land to take if he wanted to beat the Russians. Like I say, if he hadn't invaded Napoleon, if he hadn't invaded Russia, Napoleon was insurmountable. Like, Britain wasn't going to be able to win it militarily. No chance. Yeah. He really screwed up. You lucky boy, Grouchy, still alive. He's still alive. What? You lucky devil. Grouchy's going to get away. 5 men left! You son of a gun. 4 men left! Where is Grouchy? Where, Grouchy? Oh. Yeah, going back, I do think Napoleon was the greatest general or military mind. It's so hard to compare eras because it's completely different. Methods of warfare, like completely different. But I find Napoleon he revolutionized military organization with his corps system. Came up with inspired tactics. Was bold, and he didn't always. The luck factor wasn't as big a factor as you could say it was, like with, say, Caesar, who I think still deserves to be in the conversation. But sometimes, and like same with Alexander. Alexander was a brilliant general, but he also had an army that was fighting, and a really well-disciplined, trained army handed down to him that was up against a very aging, archaic, decrepit empire. You could say. You could say the Achaemenid Empire was going to collapse soon anyway. I don't know, too much. I'm just spitballing. I'm not denigrating. I think that Alexander is very much a contender for greatest general of all time. Just saying. I don't think we'll ever get like great generals anymore. Warfare's just completely different. It is completely different now. Like it's not about one man in command. It's just about tech. He's got the best tech. If you've got the best tech, you win. The best logistics too. You've got the best tech and you've got the best logistics. You certainly need a man a general in charge to make sure everything runs smoothly. But I could be proven wrong. But that seems my view on it. It's always an interesting conversation, though, isn't it, about generals and who's the best. Yeah. Who else is there? General Lee, I think, is overrated. Personally, I wouldn't rate him very much. He was fine, but I don't think he was great. Grant was better. Pompey was a great general. Pompeius Magnus. He was a good general. Rommel, overrated, I would say. I don't think he was much. I think he was lionised by the British press. And encouraged to be lionised, even by Churchill. Because, it's almost like a propaganda thing. It's like, why are we losing in North Africa? And then you just turn around and say, because we're up against the Desert Fox. He's not just any general. He's, he's brilliant. He's a master of his craft and a wily enemy, and we'll get him eventually. It's better that than saying, like, yeah, we're up against a decent general and we're still losing. So, I think that's why. Like, yes, again. Ooh, right in the face, that hurt.
Glorious
course,
victories, huh?
give one more command of an army over me, he'll do a better job. Like, anytime I've referred to these people, I'm talking about people who can still command an army competently. But I don't think War was good. His Atlantic Wall idea was terrible. Well, not his idea, but you know, he failed to prepare for D-Day. Badly failed to prepare for D-Day. Completely misjudged where the landing would be. Spent so much of Germany's resources on the Atlantic Wall, and it got breached on the first day. Like years of work, untold levels of concrete that could have been used elsewhere, materials and money, just gone on this wall that we breached on the first day. The first day. Breached it. You could even argue we breached it on the minus first day when we flew over it. Like, no, I don't think World War was all that. It's like, yeah, he was really good with tanks. Yeah, so what? No, there's so much more to war than just tanks. It's not a tank world anymore. So, well, it kind of is. What am I saying? That's not true. Don't know why I said that. But, oh, the generals are there. This is fun. Oh wait, okay. Here's my thing. Field Marshal Haig, great general. I don't like Haig slander. Haig was great. No one from 1915, no, toward the end of 1914 to early 1918, was going to get some tactical master breakthrough that everyone seemed to want. Haig knew the realities of war, of that war. And thank goodness he wasn't replaced. And he was an innovator. He was not a set in his ways field marshal who just like, we're going to try things again for the 18th time. He loved the idea of tanks and was the first to use them. We were the first army to use them. He liked the idea of he liked planes and aircraft, unlike John French before him, who didn't really have much time for them. Rightly Wallis. And yeah, the British Army in 1918 was arguably the best British Army we've ever had. It was the greatest army. It was the best army in the world at that point. The British Army in 1918. There was no defence the Germans could set up by that point that the British Army couldn't take. Ludendorff had a full-on breakdown trying to fight us back. Yeah, no, I think Haig was good. I mean, there's so much more that can be said. I mean, yeah, he just completely modernised the British Army. And the doctrine in the British Army was fantastic. And we had a lot of good generals by that point as well. Not just Haig, but a lot of our generals were good. We mastered bite and hold tactics. You know, so we've taken a bit of land, now we're just going to dig in and hold it. It's interesting. I mean, I don't like World War II was basically won for the Allies by 1942. Once America had joined, that was it. Like, we just had, by that point, the amount of materials now available to us meant that we couldn't lose. It was still going to be horrifically costly. It was more a question at that point of like what's going to happen to Europe after the war. It became the strategy was containment of the Soviets. Like, we need to still liberate Europe, because if we don't, the Soviets will still do it, and they will have, they can push all the way up to France, you know, all the way up to France if they want to, and then all of Europe will be communist. So we still had to move into the West, but we had won the war by 1942. The Germans were never going to out-produce us. We just had American supplies, and that was it. And money. But World War I think that was pretty close at the last moment. Like, the Kaiser offensive was a last-ditch effort. I'd say by 1917 it was looking favourable for the Allies, yes. Yeah, I would say that. But the Kaiser offensive, there is a universe where the Kaiser offensive just might have worked. Like a 15 to 20% chance. But, you know, then again, who knows? Maybe not. But yeah, it wasn't like for 3 years it was, no, we know we're going to win, we just got to win it. We are World War One, and that's why Haste Achievements is great. Like, up to the last minute, it could have gone either way, but fortunately, it went the way of us. Right, off they go. I think I'll end there. Lovely. Oh, this is fun to talk about history. I'm no pro, by the way. I mean, I might be saying a load of crap. But, you know. Right, okay, that's that. Oh, Grouchy was killed. I wish they'd said something. Okay. Right. I think I will keep that army. Actually, no, I'll tell you what, I'll put this army on the bridge there. These two armies can stay. I'll put him there. So I'd rather march up together because I don't know what's beyond here, and this army could link up with the main army there and overwhelm one stack.
Yes, sir.
Numbers are very important in this game. Just trying to see if there's anything more we need to do this turn. I can't spend any more money and the military is done. What's politics looking like? Ugh. Ugh. I don't really care about the Navy. No, I think we've got as good as we're going to get there. You can always boot someone out and roll the dice. But I'm not going to. Okay. Right, set the turn then. See what happens. Oh! It's the little corporal himself. Is that Switzerland? Didn't quite see it. Just defeated 2 historic marshals today. Grouchy and Jourdan. I don't think Lanz is in this game. I think he was dead by this point. I believe his leg got taken out by a cannon shot, and Napoleon was there by his side when he died. He said, "I found him a pygmy and left him a giant." Okay. All right. How fast are we replenishing here? Yeah, not very quickly. To be fair, we do need to fix the barracks. But yeah, it's dirt roads, it's just not very good here. Alright. Spy, you are going to keep this area. And just as I suspected, it's a big army there. Oh, MacDonald's, he was a marshal, I think. Or at least a general. Alright, are they both at pretty good strength? Near enough. Prague's definitely going to rebel if we move out. I don't know why. Resistance to foreign occupation. Oh well.
Yeah, my lord.
Just trying to plot my next move. How soon do you want to strike in Bavaria? I think sooner rather than later, to be honest. These guys are getting quite good experience. Experienced troops in this game are so valuable. They're worth their weight in gold. Just increases their stats all across the board. And experienced artillery is also really important. It just makes them more accurate and reload faster. Could send Blucher to fight this army. Could send Blucher to fight MacDonald and then leapfrog to Bavaria with this army, and if we can take Bavaria, that would be fantastic. Oh, they've got a good army there. Tyrol. Are there farms here in Bavaria? I don't think there are. So I don't think this would be a very fast place a place for fast replenishment. Is what we can say. The Spanish are blocking our way into Vienna. But we could easily sweep that aside. Because I'm wondering if we actually want to... Vienna probably has faster replenishment. It's got a maxed out farm, decent drill school, cobbled roads. Yeah, I think it probably is, you know. So what we might want to do is push that through, mop these up. I'm not going to do it today, it's too late in the day. But I think I will like to try and take this out, put them there. I think I will just press on now. I'll send Blucher to fight MacDonald. And after that, yeah, the next army will leapfrog and we'll march towards Bavaria together. And if we can take that out, there'll be no more French units this side of Germany, and we can just push west. There it is. Napoleon is currently stationed at the Basel Forests in Switzerland. He's gone to a logging camp. Yeah, where I think he's building up a bit of a wall here. But if we can build if we can take these regions and build them all up, we may be able to get enough money to fund another stack. Yeah, look at this. This is looking a lot healthier. If you look at this, France looks a lot more contained. If we take Bavaria out, that whopping great big city-state there, liberate Luzerne. Yeah, Torino's still there. That's something that Austria should be taking that. That can't be well garrisoned. They should be taking that. Yeah, my plan is, like typically in this game, I will liberate Brittany and then gift all the regions back to Brittany, make it Bourbon France. That's what I usually do. But I think I'll try and... We're going to have to go to war with Dresden at some point and just take it. But I think the best thing to do is if we can take out all of... We need to deal with Napoleon, basically. I might just let him live in exile in Corsica, if I'm honest. After that, I won't care too much. Then we'll see. Anyway, yeah, this is good. This is a very good situation we find ourselves in. We're pushing the French all the way back. They're currently stationed in Bavaria. Every battle is so hard fought. We take so many losses each time. But it slowly but surely grinds them down. Because we want to keep moving before they build up their infrastructure. I'm surprised they haven't built these up more, to be honest. But they don't really need to. They're probably quite happy with their fusiliers of line. They're good enough. Seriously, fusiliers of line and chasseurs are the backbone of any French army in this game. Brussels has built up an army there. Amsterdam's built an army up there. My children. Baden's somehow still alive. They're at war with France, but they've been spared. Cool. What else? Yeah, not making much money at the moment. Can't exactly raise taxes. I could raise taxes. What's the problem if I do? Reduce wealth growth. Yeah, it's not important right now, money. I have built up quite a lot of the buildings now. We'll eventually get more money. Just will take a bit of time. Okay, cool. Well, join me next time, guys, when we continue pushing the French westwards. We're going to march to Bavaria next time. We have had the Czech campaign, but now we have the Bavaria campaign. So don't miss any of it, guys. I will catch you in the next one. Take care.